Hello everyone. While the world's eyes are glued to TikTok and influencer stories, countless real tragedies are unfolding in absolute silence. Today, we're going to talk about 7 human catastrophes that no one has ever dared to tell you about. So, stay with us until the very end of the video. Catastrophe 1, the Madagascar famine. Imagine the entire country of Madagascar turned into a severe desert due to the worst drought in a century. 90% of water sources have vanished. Now, imagine 2 million people dying from hunger. No food, no water. Children were forced to eat dirt and even shoe leather just to fill their stomachs. The United Nations calls it a silent catastrophe. Why? Because it's remote, and there were no journalists there to amplify the cries of these people to the world. While the world was busy with Twitter wars over some celebrity, 2 million people were suffering in silence. Catastrophe 2, North Korea's digital purge, the disappearance of 500,000 people. In March 2024, the North Korean government suddenly decided to launch an information cleansing operation. What does that mean? It means they completely severed all communication channels with the outside world. Then, they arrested anyone who had access to external information by any means, be it a smuggled phone, a radio, or a USB drive. Satellite data and intelligence reports indicate that around 500,000 people vanished almost overnight. New forced labor camps were spotted from space. One escapee who managed to survive said, "They bury people alive for the crime of possessing a single foreign message." Yet, not a single major news agency could report a word on it, because no journalist is allowed in. Catastrophe 3, Venezuela's mysterious virus. In Caracas's Venezuela, an unknown respiratory virus began to spread. A kind of deadly cough that killed 40% of those infected. Due to sanctions and a lack of funds, the Venezuelan government couldn't send samples to reputable international labs for diagnosis. The World Health Organization also couldn't send a research team for political reasons. The result? Around 300,000 people were infected, and the world never found out a new pandemic was claiming victims there. Local doctors called it the Grey Death because patients' skin would turn a pale gray before they died. A medical catastrophe that unfolded in complete isolation. Catastrophe 4, Myanmar's secret military dam. In July, a secret dam built by the Myanmar military failed. A massive flood completely wiped out 50 villages. However, the military government cut off all communication channels and declared they would not accept any foreign aid. The satellite imagery was horrific, bodies floating on the water like leaves. Yet, no journalist dared to go there. Even worse, indirect reports from survivors suggest that, in order to survive, they were forced to resort to cannibalism, consuming the bodies of their own loved ones. A complete tragedy that was buried in total obscurity. Catastrophe 5, the Chinese factory explosion. In September 2024, a massive chemical plant exploded in Hunan Province, China. But the real disaster wasn't the explosion itself, it was the leakage of 10,000 tons of highly toxic chemicals into the groundwater. How did the Chinese government respond? They imposed a full military quarantine on the entire area, cut off internet access, and instructed domestic media to report only a minor industrial incident has occurred. Meanwhile, roughly 2 million people were exposed to horrifying carcinogenic substances. Surviving workers were forced into silence. This was a deadly cover-up on an enormous scale. Catastrophe 6, the Congo Cobalt War. In the forests of Congo, various tribes fought for control of cobalt mines. Cobalt is that precious metal found in your smartphone and electric car batteries. This tribal war led to the deaths of roughly 50,000 people. But why did no one talk about it? Because the major tech companies, who are the primary buyers of this cobalt, did everything in their power to keep the news from spreading. They didn't want their stock prices to fall. In the midst of this war, 6-year-old children were forced to work in the mines while people were being killed all around them. The progress of global technology is stained with the blood of the Congolese people. Catastrophe 7, the collapse of Argentina. Inflation in Argentina reached 250%. This meant people's money became worthless overnight. The situation grew so desperate that, on average, 100 people died by suicide every day. Entire families made pacts to die together because they could no longer endure it. A local psychologist shared, people were buying rat poison because they couldn't afford sleeping pills. Yet, global media merely referred to it as a stark economic crisis. Behind those statistics lay an ocean of suffering and mass suicide that was utterly ignored. In your opinion, which one of these catastrophes was the most painful? Be sure to write it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.